The truth about Stu Macher's first phone call in Scream 7. This is a pretty controversial thing. I made a short video about this, but I figured I'd do a longer one, maybe a little bit more in depth. As we all know, Stu Macher had scars on his face in the first video call or FaceTime call with Sidney Prescott, which was that this is the best looking Stu we had in Scream 7. It was the most recognizable one with the scarring from the TV falling on his face and all that stuff, supposedly his death. And when you look at all the other Stu moments in this movie, they definitely look like deep fakes. I mean, he's at the Macher house in this one, no scarring, which this could lead to the theory that Stu could be alive in the franchise. Here's the other one where he's doing the baby voice outside the bar. No scarring on his face in this one either, which is very strange. And I think that was all done on purpose. This is, what's his name? Tatum's boyfriend's deep fake version of him on his laptop, which brings me to my theory that I thought Ben Brown could have possibly been in on the Stu Macher deep fakes, or in on it with Marco Davis and Anna Camp's character Jessica, which is a pretty good theory. I got that on my channel. Maybe I posted maybe a week after Scream 7 came out. But here is the behind the scenes shot of Stu doing all of his scenes, and this is done in a studio behind a green screen, which I find kind of strange too. They show behind the scenes, and all these scenes behind the scenes for Matthew Lillard or Stu, they show him with scarring on his face. Even right here, they're in front of I think that's a Lionsgate studio. You can see he's got a scar on his face right there. Next to Kevin Williamson, the writer and director of the original Scream, or Russ Graham was the director of the original Scream, but he was the writer and director of Scream 7. Kevin Williamson was. And that brings me to this picture right here. This is from pretty much a cut preview or a cut commercial that was supposed to be aired on the Paramount website or on the Scream website, and it never got aired. It was aired before Wuthering Heights. And I do believe that this is supposed to be Stu Macher's first phone call. Never seen anybody cover this one yet. When this preview released before Wuthering Heights, no one wanted to go see that movie. You know, most Scream fans didn't want to go see that movie, but some people did. And I reported that this could have been a fake video, but I don't think it was, now that we go back, because this would have been a very hated thing if they put this in the movie. I do believe this is Stu Macher's first phone call to Sidney Prescott, and I don't think it would have went over well with fans. This is when I was pushing that Stu should have been alive in this movie. And I feel like that maybe people like me kind of turned the tide when it came to that. And here is the Reddit post on it too, just to prove that this was in the commercial for before Wuthering Heights. This is supposed to be the first look at Stu Macher in this movie in Scream 7, and they didn't end up doing it. And I feel like that this is proof, like right here, like that the studio and Kevin Williamson came to an agreement that maybe leave it open-ended for Stu to be alive in this franchise, because they wanted to see how well Matthew Lillard's performance was and how much people liked it, and coincided with how much we all like Matthew Lillard, which is a lot. And I look at all these comments on YouTube, on Twitter, and the consensus is that we all want Stu Macher back in Scream 8 alive. I know I do, and I know most of us do also. I mean, I know there's some people that absolutely do not want it, but the majority does. And I feel like the majority of people came into Scream 7 wanting him to be alive. You know what I mean? And I really did too, but I knew when certain things were happening in the movie that he wasn't going to be, in this movie at least. But they did the scarring on his face behind the scenes and all that stuff. And I feel like they went back and edited or did reshoots with him to not have scarring on his face in this movie, just to leave it open-ended for all of us. So I think the consensus is that Stu is alive in this franchise, and he is going to be in the next two films. He's going to be in Scream 8 and he's going to be in Scream 9. Whether they do a post-credits scene in Scream 8 or they do it in Scream 9, Kevin Williamson recorded a post-credit scene with Stu Macher. I did make my previous video was all about that, and I feel like that it is going to happen, because he did mention that, oh yeah, all these things that I cut in my previous Scream movies, or that I've cut in previous movies, I end up making a way for him to come back in the next one or the sequel. So I do think that Stu will get his sequel when it comes to Scream 8 and Scream 9. I feel like he's going to be in Scream 8 maybe a little bit, get those little clues that Stu is there. And maybe in Scream 9 they do reveal that he is behind the cult of Ghostface. I think it's a win for all of us if Stu is alive in this franchise. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Good day. Like, share, and subscribe if you want, ladies and gents. I'm going to keep doing these videos. Love y'all. I really do love y'all. And I love all the support. Appreciate all the support. I'm very close to 500 subs. Like, share, and subscribe, everybody. Take care.